Since we're here, welcome to another show of Red Cup Rants. I'm your host Dre, and my BFF is taking the day off, but I got one half of the squad here. My MVP, the MVP, my man Boone. What's going on, man?
Not much. How y'all doing?
We good, man. We good. We good. It's been an interesting week. It's been a
Has
very
it?
interesting week in sports. Well, for me. Well, no, it's not really an interesting week for me, but it's an interesting week for you because your team won this Sunday.
The,
Unlike my team, your team won this Sunday.
by how this the game that they played Sunday against the Vikings,
Hmm.
that was probably the most complete game they played this year.
Yeah, yeah.
That was probably the most complete game they played. It was honestly it was shocking because I before the game even started, my wife asked me, "How many yards do you think Dalvin Coon's gonna get on us?" I said 210 yards, and he we didn't get burned by him. We got burned by Thielen, which I mean didn't surprise me because our secondary is non-existent. But I mean we still held it together. We the defense played good throughout the game. There was no point in the game um, where they folded.
Hmm.
So I mean that game was honestly it was refreshing
It
to
really.
see that they can play like they did. I mean, everyone played together. They played as one. Andy Dalton played good. He managed the offense really well. And then
Yeah, he did.
Zeke Zeke and Tony Pollard. That was a very good 1-2 punch throughout the day. I'm glad Zeke got his 100 yards rushing. And I think what in the last nine 10 games
Hmm.
or something like that. So
Hmm.
it was great. And then CD Lamb, that touchdown catch.
That catch was great.
Oh
It was
my
great.
God! That it was what top three. It was top three on Sports Center or
Oh yeah,
on that football show that
I think.
Boom does.
Yeah, I think his was probably top. His is number three. I got number one obviously was DeAndre Hopkins catch, and then number two was the AJ Brown. The way he reminded me of Dez on that touchdown catch where he just basically bullied his way to the end zone,
Yeah, it
and then you got CD Lamb who. So my question to you is I know you wasn't very high on the Cowboys drafting CD Lamb. You wanted defense, so
yep.
has your tune changed or are you starting to warm up the CD or are you
Um,
still like.
I'm starting to warm up to CD. I see why we drafted him,
Mhm.
but even seeing how he has played, how um, well he runs his routes, I still would have preferred to get a replacement for Tyron Smith or a defensive end that can pass rush because we're
Mhm.
still lacking in that department. Because we can't get pressure on the
Mhm.
quarterback unless we bring 5 or 6 guys, and that
Right.
leaves one on one on the outsides, and our corners can't cover a one on one. They get burnt. Especially Diggs. When Diggs is out there, he gets burnt too. He gets burnt multiple times a game.
Mhm.
But one thing I do like about Diggs is he don't give up. He'll still
True.
chase down receivers. For example, the Seahawks game, he chased down DK Metcalf and caused that fumble and
And
caused a
caused a fumble,
touchback.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I see that, but I would have preferred still getting a replacement for Tyron Smith and a defensive end. But I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
He won the next season. We need to look at definitely getting a left tackle, a tackle for to replace Tyron Smith because
Oh yeah.
I've been saying it for the past 3 years. The injuries are adding up. He's missing more and more games. It's about time we replace him because right now, even when he does play, he's getting false start penalties. He's getting holding penalties. So it's He's not productive no more.
Hmm.
So we need to look at replacing him at that position.
Hmm. So with that being said, I know you and your wife are very critical of the Cowboys, and y'all give it to people straight when they talk about, oh, the Cowboys are back, and y'all's like, slow down. The way that y'all played against the undefeated Steelers, y'all almost pulled that out. And then
Almost.
and then the way y'all played to beat Minnesota. Is there hope for y'all in the future going down the road for the Cowboys?
Hope,
Do you think
hope,
that y'all can? Did y'all think y'all could kind of turn it around in a couple seasons and y'all could be back to being Super Bowl contenders?
if we get the right pieces to fill the gaps where it's needed, where like
Mm-hmm.
defensive line, uh, but the offensive line, because and hell, it also depends on who's going to be at quarterback. Is it going to be Dak or is it going to be someone else? Because this is the Dak's last year. He's out hurt. What they
So
need to
what?
be doing, they
So
need to
what's
be
it?
talking to Dak with the
So what's
contract.
so what's your opinion on that? Do you want that to come back? Because I know you've been very critical of that. Do you want him to come
The,
back, or you're just like start over?
well, with him being gone for what 4 games now,
Yeah.
the first 2 games made me miss him
Mm-hmm.
because Dinucci didn't do a damn thing for us, and then when
Yeah.
Andy Dalton his first game before getting knocked out with the concussion,
Mm-hmm.
it made me miss Dak. So
Mm-hmm.
I had I like Dak, but I want the Dak that played under the rookie contract, not the last
Mm-hmm.
2 years where he wasn't taking off running. The play calling wasn't set up for him to take off run like those RPOs that were called when he was under when he replaced Tony Romo his that first season. I want
Mm-hmm.
that Dak Prescott because that gave him that room on the backside to throw the ball to receivers. Because
Mm-hmm.
with him just standing in the pocket trying to throw, it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And him trying to just be a pocket quarterback, wasn't working because he wasn't reading. Like he would see one thing on defense, but then do something else when he called the audible play.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would always roll into where the pressure was coming from and get sacked or possibly lose the ball. That has happened plenty of times. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, Nikki, boom, Mrs. Dak, but only when we
And that's
had
shocking.
and that's only because of the quarterback that we had. We had Dinucci, but Dinucci was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Gilbert played decent, wasn't
Mm-hmm.
great. And then when Andy Don played like the way he did before he got knocked out with the concussion, that made me
Mm-hmm.
miss Dak. Yeah, I admit it. I mean, that's gonna be the same thing with if the line was changed with the Falcons. If someone else started at quarterback besides Matt Ryan, everyone would say, "Oh, bring Matt Ryan back." It's gonna be the same situation. And all these people, Matt
Yeah.
Ryan haters, they're gonna be the first ones to say, "Bring back Matt Ryan," because
Oh, we're gonna
he's
talk
your
about we're gonna talk that we're gonna talk
he's the
about that
best
later on.
he's the best quarterback for that team right now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but with I the right now that situation needs to be handled. He's
Mm-hmm.
out with a broken ankle. He's recovering from it. If the Dallas Cowboys really want him back, that contract negotiation needs to start now.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait until
So
after the season.
so my question to you is this: do you think Dak is worth 35-40 million dollars a year? Because
It's
that's what he's
it's
gonna get. That's what
it's
his,
that
because
that
that's
that
what he's gonna
well
get. Especially
it
with
it it
Mahomes
yeah
getting what he got.
it doesn't matter if I'm okay with it now. That's the
Yeah.
market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you whatever you're good at, and if you go out try to get your job for that
Mm-hmm.
position, and they're going to be signing people, for 40-50 dollars an hour. Yeah, you're going to get $40 to $50 an hour. So that's the same thing with the quarterbacks market. If
Mm-hmm.
all these quarterbacks are getting these mediocre quarterbacks are getting 39-40 million dollars a year, why shouldn't
Garoppolo,
Dak Prescott?
Garoppolo.
Garoppolo and
Tannehill,
Matt Stafford.
Stafford, Tannehill, Baker Mayfield's probably about to get another big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah. So,
so that's, I mean, do I agree with it? No, but that's just how the market is. It's just going to keep going up, especially with the recent signing with Patrick Mahomes in the offseason. Was
half
it
a
10
billion,
years, half a
half a
billion?
billion dollars.
So, I mean, there you go. That's the line right there. So, do I expect him to get 42, 43 million a year? Yes.
Hmm.
And I think that's going to be,
But your
but I
opinion.
think, but
I want your opinion. What
my
do you
opinion,
think?
I don't know, well, with what he's shown being in a pocket quarterback, he ain't worth 40 million to me. He
Hmm.
worth maybe 29, 30,
Hmm.
but not the way he's been playing. If they bring back if he comes back playing like his old self,
Hmm.
his rookie year or even the second year, then I can say yes, he's worth that 40 million, 44 million dollar contract. But the years after that, no, he's
Hmm.
not,
Hmm.
because I mean, again, I'm gonna bring that one play back. How do you overthrow a out or in cut in route? A 10 yard in, you fucking overthrow it. How? So I mean, I mean, everyone can say, but everyone has a bad day. Yeah, but he does it consistently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my question to you is this: if Dak gets his deal, what else do the Cowboys need to do?
Uh,
Like as far as being being
revamp the O
contenders.
line. Revamp the O line. Bring back. We need to get the O line back to where it was 2 3 years ago, where it was dominant,
Hmm.
and the running game, takes over. And you probably, from the first play of the game to the last play, we need that O line to take over, because right now we don't have that. I understand. We had some. We had injuries. We had a player retire. Zach Martin played right guard instead of being a right tackle instead of right guard, his normal position. That's going to work. So we need to revamp the O line. We need to get a defensive line that can pass rush on a consistent basis rather than
Hmm.
blitzing every other play just to get pressure. And then even
Hmm.
when we do get pressure, the quarterback, all they do is roll out. They're not containing the quarterback. They're leaving lanes open for them to take off and run.
Hmm.
So get those figured out. Yeah, we can make a run, but I don't see that happening, because Dallas Cowboys, as you've seen last recent years, they always go with the best player on the board, not with what the team needs.
Hmm.
So
So
I don't know.
whose fault is it? Is it Jerry's fault or is it
Yes,
front
it's Jerry's
office?
fault.
Okay.
He's the one. Well, he's not making the calls. Yes, he is. He's making. He's a fucking GM. He's picking who the team who he wants.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I had said this in the off season. I'll say it again. For the Cowboys to actually make a run at the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
Jerry Jones needs to, or sorry, the Jones family needs to
Hmm.
step away from the Dallas Cowboys. They can be owners, but they can't be
So
GMs.
basically,
They
said
can't
take the hands off of the team and let
exactly
somebody else do it. Yeah.
bring in a real GM that will build a
Hmm.
team for what it is,
Hmm.
and put the pieces together and make them fit together, not just to tolerate each other. Because that's what it seems like what they're doing right now. They're just tolerating each other. And again,
Hmm.
who the fuck beat out Howard Clinton Dix?
I don't know. I don't know. Because Ladonna asked the same question. I don't know. I really don't know.
Who that's the I even 3 weeks ago when I went to my barber, I asked him who beat out Howard Clinton Dix. He said,
I
"Man,
don't
I'm
know.
still trying to figure that out."
I don't know.
So
Somebody delete Maggie from this chat.
why? Why are we gonna? Well, what'd she do to you?
You know what she did to me. Trucker
I
looking.
no, I don't.
Blame your wife. Blame your wife for that one.
Well, blame
It's
my wife.
cool.
Don't blame. Do not blame Maggie.
I'm blaming your
Maggie,
wife.
hey,
Your
but
wife started it.
but
Your wife
but
started it.
don't okay. Blame her, not Maggie. Don't kick Maggie
Yeah.
off.
Only delete it for about 30 seconds. That's all. About 30 seconds. Then bring it back. But I mean, you can't really say anything. I mean, y'all did win. Y'all did win.
Yeah,
So
we hey, I'll take the win, but now so what? It's a three-way tie or four-way tie in the fucking division.
and y'all can still host a playoff game at
But
home.
and
At
that's the sad
home.
thing, and that's the saddest thing. At 3-7, we tied for fucking first.
And
Like
y'all can host a
it's
playoff game at home
with the losing record. It just be
with
the Seattle Seahawks all over again.
Yeah, yeah, it
But
is.
no, honestly, I don't even want to make it to the playoff because you see the fucking talent in the NFC. You got the
Yeah.
Saints, even without Drew Brees, they're playing like they can pull it, go off and score 40 points a game. You got
Hmm.
Green Bay Packers with Rodgers and Adams that score
You
on
got the
you
Seahawks.
in one play. You got the
You got the
Seahawks,
Seahawks. Eep.
Russell Wilson, who's playing, I think should be the MVP of the season. I don't care, if they lost 2-3 games, he should be MVP. I that's
I I got him number two behind Mahomes.
You got him number two,
Behind Mahomes. Mahomes should be MVP the way he's playing.
and then
But
who else in the
the
NFC?
Cardinals. The Cardinals.
And the Cardinals. I mean, shit. Even if we do make it to the playoffs, we got to play one of them in the wild card. Fuck that. I'd rather sit at home. Nuh-uh. I ain't trying to watch that ass whooping again. But the Cardinals, when we play against the Cardinals, that was an ass whooping. That was an ass whooping. I'm not trying to go through that again.
Yeah. But I will say this though, and shout out to everybody that's on the chat line, Mike, Nikki, Maggie, even though she's calling me by trucker looker outer, and even I know Ladonna's lurking somewhere, so I appreciate everybody checking in on the chat
Oh, she's the
line.
one who put that. She's the one who put that comment up.
I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. She is petty, even if she's not on the show. She is petty as hell. So, but I will say this: at least your team won this Sunday. I don't even know what the hell my team did this season this game.
What did you observe?
I observed my team is sorry as shit. That's what I observed. I observed my team is very. We have a lot to work on. We have a lot to work. And before anybody says it's Matt Ryan's fault, listen, and listen up close. My dad, who is a hardcore Saints fan, who I tried to avoid his calls all day on Sunday because I knew as soon as the Saints won, he was gonna talk shit. Even he said that Matt Ryan had no time to throw the football. So I mean, if a Saints fan could tell me this, what's wrong with most of these Falcons fans that says Matt Ryan's fault? It's not Matt Ryan's fault. The Saints came with a game plan that Sunday. Even though they lost their best cornerback in Lattimore, we looked terrible out there. We really did. We looked terrible out there. We really on both sides of the ball. We let a linebacker beat us at quarterback. We let them beat us at quarterback. And the fact of the matter is, Kamara and Thomas didn't even have a good game. That's the sad part about it. We went all the way to New Orleans to kick 3 field goals. Especially when you got Julio Jones, you got Calvin Ridley who came back, you got Hayden Hurst, Todd Gurley, you got all these weapons, and we only put up 9 points. 9 points against our rival, and them Saints fans was gonna come out the woodwork and talk shit when they beat us, and they did. But that's why I didn't even say anything because I didn't realize how bad this team was. I don't know, and I already said it before, and I say it time and time again. Dirk Carter was probably the worst hire that the Falcons had in about a couple years. Dirk Carter is the equivalent of trying to reheat cold French fries in a microwave because you know that it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And I told everybody when we rehired him back, I was like, we're gonna be trash on offense because I know how Dirk works. He likes to play Tecmo Bowl in the NFL. Send all receivers out. Don't worry about sending a running back out the backfield. Don't worry about sending the tight end in the in the uh, in the cut. Just send all four receivers downfield, and whoever is open, throw the ball deep. It worked for a couple plays in that game, but then the Saints got they adjusted, which is what the Falcons haven't done this season. The Saints adjusted to what we was doing on offense and basically just started pinning their ears back. That's why Matt Ryan was basically on his face most of the game because the Saints adjusted to what we were doing. And it was sad to see how, especially after the fact that the Falcons were on a roll and was winning a couple games. It sucked. It really did. And I don't understand why Dirk Carter still has the job. He should have been left in New Orleans after that game. He should have been left because I don't understand how a team that has that much talent on offense only put up 9 points. It really don't make no sense. Matt Ryan was
Yeah,
running for his life. Matt Ryan was running for his life that whole game. It seemed like every time
man.
he snapped the ball, it was either Cam Jordan or Hendrickson or they was come
Yeah,
Jenkins. I think Jenkins got a sack. It was terrible. But go ahead, Boone.
yeah,
Go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
he had no chance on the majority of the day. But they started off promising. That deep pass
Yeah,
down the field on the first drive, I was like, oh, they came to play today. But then after that, that was it. That was the only big play. After that, y'all just the offense just disappeared. And like you said, Matt Ryan was just running.
he was running for his
As
life.
soon as he got the
Every
ball,
time he got the ball, he was
he
running
was
for his life.
yeah.
He was running for his life.
It was horrible. Like it was like, man, feel sorry for that dude. I'm telling you, y'all can trade Matt Ryan to us any day. We'll take him. We'll
You
take
know
him.
what? You know what? No, we're gonna keep him for the long term. But and it seems like everybody, the Matt Ryan haters came out as usual. Matt Ryan has a bad game. And he had a bad game. I'm not gonna excuse him, but for everybody saying it was solely his fault, it wasn't his fault. The whole team played like trash that game. And I'm gonna say it, and I might get cussed out, I might get deleted, I might even get threatened. This Falcons team is not very good. They're not very good on both sides of the ball. It's gonna take a huge rebuilding process for us to even contend. Like it's kind of like y'all with Dallas with the Cowboys. Y'all have pieces in place, but it's gonna take a huge rebuild. It really is gonna take a huge rebuild for us to even get back to how we were in 2016, because our team is the Falcons are not good. They're not. Yes, we got a couple wins. Everybody was high on Raheem Morris. Dan Quinn got fired. All that was cool. And we won a couple games. We beat Minnesota, we beat Carolina, and we was on the road. Then we get to New Orleans and we just fall flat on our face. So that from the coaching staff to the personnel, the general manager, all that all has to be completely rechanged. Got to be completely changed because we're not a good football team. We're not a good football team at all. And it's sad because you got guys like Julio and Matt Ryan, Alex Mack. These guys are not young. They're on the other side of 30. So their window is closing it's closing slowly, but it's closing. It's not
Mm-hmm.
wide open like it used to be. So
Yeah.
I don't know if Arthur Blank needs to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting and figure out what he needs to do to make this team a contender because right
Hey,
now it's not. Go
him
ahead.
and Jerry Jones both.
Well, they got beef against each other because of the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. So I don't expect them to be in the same room talking to each other.
They didn't just talk to each other. They didn't talk to Jesus.
Because something. Because
And
I know if Blank and Jerry Jones get in the room, they probably gonna start fighting. because
No,
Jerry Jones had his view on the national anthem, and Arthur Blank had his view on the national anthem, and I think Arthur Blank was one of the ones that said, I guess he didn't want the Rams or the Raiders to move, and Jerry Jones had a big. It was a whole story. So I'm pretty sure if you put them both in the room, somebody's gonna throw a punch.
yeah, maybe Arthur Blank can knock Jerry Jones's Botox loose.
not that hairline straight.
Oh man,
But um, with the Falcons, man, it's just I'm gonna support them. I'm gonna ride with them regardless. But right now, they need to have a serious breakdown and build up of this team because right now, with our personnel and the coaching staff, we're not going to go anywhere with that. I know everybody wants Raheem to be the coach next year, but honestly, I'm like, let's see what else is out there. And I don't want no coach I don't want to, what's called the retread tires. I don't want to kick tires on the old coach. Let's bring somebody new in. Let's bring somebody fresh in who has a good offensive mind and could be a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, me personally, I know everybody wants Rex Rhines to be there, and everybody wants even Bill Cowher, which I know he's not coming because he's good where he's at. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's got his money. He's not trying to. He's not trying to get there. But get a new mind to come in there. I know everybody, and then everybody says Lincoln Riley, but I'm like Lincoln Riley's good at Oklahoma. He's not. He's not going anywhere. So my thing is that Falcons, y'all got to do something, man. I know Maggie and Mike are kind of creeping in the comments. Maybe I need help from y'all because y'all more in depth than me. Maybe y'all can help me figure out what the Falcons need to do to get better because I'm tired of the mediocrity. I'm tired of the mediocrity. Like I know Boone, his Cowboys are, he don't talk, but at least he can say that his team has won a Super Bowl. I can't say that yet. I can say my team blew one. I can say my team got their ass kicked in one, but
though I
until
would
we
say
can,
your defense, not your offense was all right. It's just your defense couldn't stop anyone. I mean
yeah, but
that
like I said, I still
it was two catches by Edelman that killed y'all.
yeah. But I will
Two
say this
catches by
though,
Edelman that killed y'all.
and I blame Shadufus for all that because we were winning. All you had to do was run the ball, kick the field goal. That's it. So I still blame Shadufus for it. And I know a lot of people said we should try to lure Shanahan back. First of all, he's a head coach. He's not trying to come back to be an OC in Atlanta. Second of all, I don't want his ass to come back anyway because I already said if I see Kyle Shanahan in the street, I'm gonna punch him in the mouth. So I mean, the way
I
he
mean,
ruined our
I mean,
Super
the
Bowl for us,
same way he ruined the
but
Super Bowl for the 49ers,
for the
right?
49ers, yeah. So, and I even told my mom this. I said, do not get surprised if Kyle Shanahan blows the Super Bowl for y'all, and I was right. So, all I all I all I can hope for is next year when this new regime comes in, this new general manager, this new coaching staff, whoever comes in, they need to really take a look at this roster that the Falcons have and start making cuts. Start making cuts and getting some of these high caliber players in to make this team great because and Maggie, I agree, we do have the talent, but we could always have more. We could always have more talent. Because right now, I mean, on defense wise, I mean, who you got? Grady Jarrett, Terrell, who impressed me as a rookie. He's impressing me playing cornerback. You got Deion Jones, Canal Nils playing good, but I already said that he might not be worth paying all that money for because he can't stay healthy. Uh, I mean, who else is there? So we really got the Arthur Blank really has to look over this whole team as a whole, as an organization, and figure out what he needs to do to make this team a Super Bowl contender. Because my heart would hurt so badly, if the Saints fuck around and win the Super Bowl this year. My heart would hurt because first of all, I don't need the Saints to win another Super Bowl. We ain't got one yet. Two, I don't want my dad to be talking shit because I might have to fight him when I see him because he's already talking about the Saints are going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. I don't need that
Man,
negativity. I already been through enough in 2020. I don't need that negativity if the Saints win the Super Bowl again. So Falcons, do whatever you need to do to make our team competitive to win Super Bowls because I don't want to hear that bullshit from my dad or any other Saints fan on my friends list, especially if they win the Super Bowl again. Because we all know Drew Brees is going to come back and try to compete because this is probably going to be his last run as a quarterback, especially with the injury he got. He's going to be
I think
trying to get back. He's going to try
I
to come
think
back.
I think he's
Go
gonna
ahead,
he I
boom.
think he's gonna I think he's gonna retire with Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady
Yeah,
and Drew Brees gonna retire at the same time.
right. But I think with the fact that he's broken some ribs and he had a punctured lung, I think this is all or nothing for Drew. For me, Tom Brady might
I
come back and play a couple years, but I think this is his all or nothing for him because broken ribs suck. It's hard to breathe with broken ribs. So if the Saints somehow find a way to win the damn Super Bowl, I'll probably just deactivate my Facebook because I don't want to hear that negativity at all, at all. So Falcons do
yeah,
whatever you need.
you can
Falcons
go
do.
into hiding.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like a bear. I'm gonna go into hibernation and I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to hear it. I don't because I know my dad's gonna call me. So we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. We got to find a way to be competitive because it pains me how we got so much talent, even though we got some holes on our roster. We got enough talent to compete with anyone, and we're underachieving. It sucks, but it is what it is. And
The
Maggie, I
same thing.
understand. I understand. We know who made the defensive decision. That's why they're gone. So hopefully this new regime comes in and they fix that. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, sis, on that. Yes. So do what you gotta do. But go ahead, Boom.
The same can be said for the Cowboys.
Hmm. So, but that's my whole rant. Falcons, you lost to the Saints. We got them in 2 weeks, and you know they already popping big shit. So we got to win in 2 weeks. If not, then you already know how it's going to go. So we got to do something down there in Flowery Branch. We got to do something. We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. So. But with that being said, boom, what's going on? I know you got the NFL recap. What else is going on in the NFL world?
So we had some interesting games over the weekend. The first one I want to talk about is Colts and Packers.
Yeah, that was a good
The
game.
Colts taking down the Packers on overtime. That I thought that well, I think it was. Let me go back and look. I think it was 28-14 at halftime. Grab Packers up. I
Hmm.
thought it was done with.
Hmm.
And then next thing
Hmm.
I know,
Especially with
when they
Aaron,
went into
especially with
yeah, when they
especially with Aaron
go
Rodgers
when
at the
they
quarterback was in. Yeah.
yep, and then when they did show the that bonus coverage and showing that it's about to go into overtime, I was like, what happened? And who is doing this to the Packers? Because
Hmm.
being up 28-14, and you got Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Scantling, Valdez, or Lazard,
Valdez
that
Scantling, Aaron Jones.
the, and that game's done for, right? But no,
Hmm.
the Colts came back and won it on them. So it does it speak more for the Colts or does it speak with more volumes with Aaron Rodgers? Because
It
it was his pick that sealed it for the Colts.
my thing is this. My thing is this. I think it goes more to the fact that the Colts because I always said that the Colts had one of the most underrated defenses in football. You got a guy like Darius Leonard who is not talked about amongst his peers as being one of the best linebackers in the league. You got because I know everybody talks about Demario Davis from New Orleans. Everybody talks about Levante Davis from Tampa Bay. Everybody talks about Chris Jones. Nobody talks about Darius Leonard. and how good of a running, good of a linebacker he is. I think he was top 5 in tackles. Uh, and then you pick up a guy like Justin Houston, who is a great pass rushing linebacker, who could teach guys like Darius Leonard to be professional, not only professional, but he could play the game of play the position of linebacker. The Colts probably, I think the Colts have I think they have a top 10 defense. So while I was surprised, I wasn't surprised at how Aaron Rodgers did what he did. I also wasn't surprised at what the Colts did because the Colts, they could play some defense. And that's kind of hard to say because if you think about the Colts, when they had them teams with Peyton Manning, they was all about offense. They wasn't about defense. They were just like, we're gonna outscore you, and then we'll just go out from there. We're gonna try to outscore you to win the game. The uh the new age Colts with this defense, I wasn't surprised at all. And the play that they made where they made Valdez Scantling fumble the ball to win the game, that was just that was just good ball. So, and then you got a veteran presence. Like, even though I give Phillip Rivers a lot of criticism because I think he's just a stat pad quarterback, the man could still play the game of football. And we talk about the Chiefs, we talk about the Bills, we talk about the Steelers, we talk about the Ravens. Don't sleep on them Colts. Don't sleep on them Colts. Them Colts can make a lot of noise come playoff time, especially if they got a home game at home. They can make some noise. And I gotta give credit to Frank Wright. I know a lot of people in Indianapolis wanted him gone, especially after Chuck Pagano retired or he quit because of, his condition. A lot of people wanted Frank Wright gone because they felt that he wasn't the guy, but he got his team sitting at 7-3, very much in the playoff mix, and he's got an offense and a defense that can pretty much compete with anybody in the league. So don't sleep on the Colts. So just keep an eye on them. I didn't pick them as a sleeper team. I picked the Raiders over them, but don't sleep on them Colts. Them Colts can make a lot of noise.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. They made Aaron Rodgers look human,
Yeah, they did.
and then
Yeah, they did.
no, it was a Monday night game last night, Bucks and Rams.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that Tom Brady played last night, do you think this is definitely on the downhill side of his career, or
Absolutely.
or or
Absolutely.
is it the defense that couldn't stop the Rams?
No, it's Tom Brady. It's a combination of because the defense did their job. I think it's Tom Brady. I think you know the saying. You know how the saying goes: Father Time is undefeated. And the way that Tom Brady played these last two games against New Orleans and now with the Rams, I think Father Time is finally knocking on that door trying to get in. And and this is a hot take for me. If the Bucks might mess around and not even make the playoffs,
Ooh,
especially with Seattle and Arizona and even Chicago. I'll even throw Chicago, even though I think Chicago is a very overrated team. I'll put Chicago in there.
no,
The way these,
I would
eh,
I wouldn't put Chicago in there.
well, I'll put them in there because I mean, who else is left? I mean, Philadelphia. I mean, they got their own issues. New York, the Washington football team, uh, the Vikings, who just y'all beat the Vikings. So I mean, you can't really say nothing about the Vikings. The Falcons, as much as I love them, I don't think they're a playoff caliber team. So I mean, who else is left? The only reason why I
Yeah,
put Chicago in there is because of their record. They're 5-5, and they're sitting pretty good. And I think their schedule, they got some pretty favorable games coming up, so they can make a run if they can get their quarterback situation down pat. So if Tampa mess around and start losing, they might not even make the playoffs. Because the format now is the only team that gets a bye is the number one seed. It's
yep,
not 1 and 2 anymore. It's only number one. So Tampa's in one of those like crossroads right now because they got their ass beat by New Orleans. Then they turn around and lost to the Rams. I will give them credit. They did beat Green Bay. They beat Green Bay. But if they mess around and like start stumbling towards the finish line, I don't see them making the playoffs. And the way that Tom Brady is playing right now, I mean, if he keeps playing like that, I think it's time for him to hang it up
Yeah,
because he's been very, very, very. He's underachieved the last two games. So
yeah.
they got to figure it out. They really got to figure it out because I know everybody. Because when Tom Brady got, and then when they got Tom Brady, not only they get Tom Brady, they got Rob Gronkowski back. They got Leonard Fournette, and then they went out and signed Antonio Brown as well. So they're basically like what the Rams were a couple years ago, where it's Super Bowl or bust. So if Tampa Bay doesn't make the playoffs, it's gonna be some serious questions. And you already know Bruce Arians has been very critical of Tom Brady. Very critical of Tom Brady. Like he's been calling him out on basically on all media. He's been calling him out saying you need to play better. I mean, I'm sure Belichick said the same thing, but it hasn't been magnified as much as it has now. So, with that being said, that Tampa Bay is in a lot of trouble right now. Yeah, they're 7-4 or 7-3 or whatever, but they're in a lot of trouble. They could miss the playoffs. On the flip side, I gotta applaud the Rams, especially after they've been on the road. They beat Seattle at home. Then they turn around and beat Tampa Bay. They're on the roll right now. They're really on the roll. Jared Goff. I'm not saying that he's an elite quarterback, but he's making plays and he's basically man. He's more of a game manager. He's managing the game. Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods played outstanding last night. Both of them had 10 receptions for over 100 yards. The running game, even though it was kind of it was kind of non-existent in the first half. They did make some running plays in the uh, in the second half. But that defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Michael Brockers, Darius Williams, Johnson. Everybody talks about the Saints defense, but that Rams defense is just as good. It's just as good. And when you got a guy
Mhm.
like Aaron Donald, who's basically, I call him Thanos, when you got Aaron Donald on that line and he's causing trouble for Tom Brady, making plays and stuff like that for the other team to succeed, you're gonna go far in the playoffs. If you got a good running game and you got a good defense, you're gonna go very far in the playoffs. So I think with the Rams, with the way they're playing defense and the way that Jared Goff, even though he threw a couple interceptions last night, he's not totally blowing the game. So if the Rams keep playing the way they're playing, that's another team that could make noise as well.
So, yeah, that game was interesting. That game really showed Tom's age and his. I think if he doesn't retire after this season, he got one more, and then he should be done. Now the other game that was interesting, but not really interesting. But Ravens and Titans. Titans has had the Ravens number for the last 2 years. They can't beat them, and both times it's Derrick Henry that just takes over and wins the game for the Titans. Do you do you think the Ravens are overrated, or is this just because they don't have any new plays to run, and the defense are basically calling out, like Lamar Jackson said, the opposing defenses are literally calling out their plays before it even happens.
I don't think they're overrated, but I think that teams are figuring out Lamar Jackson's game. I think they are because and the NFL is a copycat league. The NFL is a lot more accelerated than say the college game. Defensive coordinators take, defensive coordinators don't. It don't take long for DCs in the NFL to figure out how to game plan against a certain offense. Um, I think they figured out Lamar Jackson. I think they figured out if we just let him run the ball and we let him, just make plays in the running game, and we could kind of neutralize him on the running game and make him pass, then we got them beat. So And I think that I think everybody says Wink Martindale, who I think is a very good offensive coordinator, but I think that he needs to expand it a little bit more. I think he does because to me, it was kind of like what he was the second year that he had Kaepernick in San Francisco. Everybody, Kaepernick came in and he set the NFL on fire with the way he was playing. He led them to the Super Bowl. Even though they didn't win, the way he was playing, he led the team to the Super Bowl. But then the next year, he kind of struggled because defensive coordinators figured out how to play this guy. And I think that's what a lot of DCs are doing when they face Lamar Jackson. They figured out how to play him. Let him run. Don't let him make any big plays. Keep him in the pocket, and that's how we win. Because Lamar Jackson didn't really have as much as we say he's a great player, and I applaud him and I root for him. He hasn't had a lot of good games as of late. He hasn't. The game against Pittsburgh, he kind of had a decent game, but he still kind of struggled with turnovers. And Tennessee, I mean, like you said, boom, they have had the Ravens number. So it's like we said with the Falcons and the Cowboys. The Ravens had to literally have a come to Jesus meeting and figure out what to do to expand this playbook because the Ravens could be like the Bucks. They could miss the playoffs too because for now they're behind Pittsburgh in the NFC North, and not the NFC North, the AFC North. And then you got the teams like the Raiders and the Broncos, and those teams. They're fighting for a wild card spot, so it could be the Ravens could be in the same boat as the Bucks and not even make even Buffalo. They might not even make the playoffs. They could be sitting at home. They could be sitting at home with a 10-6, 11-5 record and be at home.
Yeah, this they like you said the Ravens need to figure it out. They need to their defense needs to come together where they're getting ran over by the running backs. They need to spread the ball more on offense. Can't just keep let Lamar Jackson keep running the ball. So I think you hit it on the head with that. They need to spread. Basically, what you're saying is spread the ball around, and I think that's what they need to do. And shout out to Des Bryant, who had his first catch in over 3 years. So shout out to Des Bryant. I know it wasn't a game changer or nothing, but it's good to see him back on the field. When we heard that or saw that he got his first catch, my whole family we all threw up the X. So um, shout out to Dez. I hope he keeps his role keeps growing within the team, and I hope it's not
Mm-hmm.
just for the season. I hope he gets re-signed, or this could be his audition tape for another team to sign him to a at least a 2 or 3 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, real good to see Dez back on the field making catches. Let's
Absolutely,
see.
absolutely.
What about the Sunday night game, the Chiefs and Raiders? What's your takeaway from that game?
My takeaway from that game is this is why the Kansas City Chiefs paid Patrick Mahomes a $500 million. That's why they paid him a $500 million. Pretty much. That man is pretty much accomplished a lot. And I only think he's been in the league, what, 2 or 3 years at the most? He's already accomplished.
Yeah,
He's been in the league. He ain't been in the league that long. He's only been in like, I,
no.
I want to say 3 years. I want to say three. This man already has an NFL MVP and he's a Super Bowl MVP and he won a Super Bowl. This man is
Mhm.
pretty much untouchable right now. Uh, the way like I said, this is why the Chiefs paid him. And then you got a coach like Anthony Reid who he gets a lot of scrutiny as well, but the man knows how to mold quarterbacks. I say him and John Gruden are probably two of the best guys that can mold quarterbacks. And you saw, Derek Carr, even though he threw that late interception to lose the game, he
Mhm.
had a pretty good game too as well. So I can't take anything from Derek Carr. But let's focus on Patrick Mahomes for a minute. This man, I know there's a very heated debate going on Twitter right now, and I I'm trying to avoid it, but I might jump in there eventually. I might be like the Royal Rumble. I might be the 30th participant in this. There's a lot of talk going around that Patrick Mahomes might be the greatest quarterback ever. Me personally, I say no. I don't think he's the greatest quarterback ever. Do I think he's the greatest quarterback in the league right now? Absolutely. I think he is. I think he's the great. I think he's the best right now because the way that he plays the game, it just seems effortless from him. Like and quarterback is a very complex position. It's a very complex position that you have to be really, you can have the talent to play, but you gotta be up. You gotta be smart up here. You gotta have the talent up here to play that position. And the way that Patrick Mahomes has been playing the quarterback position, he deserves that $500 million because I call him a generational talent, kind of like Steph Curry, kind of like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, DK Metcalf, Julio Jones, those guys. Generational talent. They are just simply too good to play. And the way he's playing, the way he's revolutionizing the position right now, I think he is the best quarterback in the league right now. And I think he is my front runner for MVP. Considering the fact that Russell Wilson has struggled his last couple games, Patrick Mahomes, unless he gets injured, knock on wood, or he has a bad game, it's his MVP to lose. It really is his MVP to lose the way he's playing. He only got 28 touchdowns, 2 picks, and both of those picks came against the Raiders.
Yep.
So I mean, the guy's playing out his mind right now. So, and I picked Kansas City to repeat as Super Bowl champions because I don't see nobody beating them right now. I don't see nobody
And
beating. I mean, yes, the Steelers are undefeated. They're 10-0, but if they was to play in the AFC Championship game, I'll pick Kansas City over Pittsburgh. I will. I'll pick them over
and
Pittsburgh.
just to know what you said, he's been in the league 2 3 years. His first his rookie year was 2017. He played one game, but his full
Mm-hmm.
season was 2018, and then
Mm-hmm.
2019, and of course now 2020. So yeah, his this is his third full season playing at quarterback.
And that man got a Super Bowl MVP, a NFL MVP, and a Super Bowl ring.
Yep.
So
He
yeah,
the
so
the big three that that a quarterback wants, he's already done it.
he's already done it. So to
So I
me,
mean now it's just now he's just trying to be chasing Tom Brady.
Tom,
That's all it is.
that's all he's trying to do to be. He's basically like the Mike Trout of the NFL. Everybody crowns Mike Trout is probably going to be the greatest baseball player of all time when he retires. I think Mahomes, barring any injury, because we saw Patrick Mahomes take an injury last season. We didn't know how bad it was, but then he came back and won the Super Bowl. So
Yeah, he only
barring
missed two
any,
games.
he only missed 2 games. Barring any major injury in his career, I think Patrick Mahomes can be in an argument as being the greatest quarterback of all time if he stays
Absolutely,
healthy. If he stays
absolutely,
healthy. If he
absolutely.
stays healthy. So
And if you
go
want
ahead,
to
boom.
just if you want to take it to he's the best quarterback in the last 2 3 years. Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah,
He's number one,
he's
and
the best quarterback in the
the,
league right now.
yeah, there's I don't think there's a close second at all. There's not a close second. Um, in I would say
You know,
in 5 years from now, we will definitely put him in the conversation of greatest of all time. 5 years. If he keeps
the way he's going right now,
exact,
if he
yep,
doesn't get hurt, absolutely, yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
But
and that's crazy because you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Tom Brady, you got Drew Brees, you got Peyton Manning, you got all these guys. But the consensus amongst the league is Patrick Mahomes is the best. He's the best. I don't see no
the
argument.
best
I
right
really don't.
now.
Right now, yes.
Best
Ben
right. Yes.
Roethlisberger, yes. Not talking about the best young quarterback, the best quarterback in the league. And you got guys like Aaron, like I said, you got all those guys who's been in the league, winning championships, winning games. Who else is there? It really isn't. It really isn't. You know what I'm saying? It really isn't. So, and me
Oh,
personally, I'm rooting hard for.
My wife just she just came in here. She wants me to let you know. Okay, this her words, not mine. That she is right now baking Matt Ryan chocolate chip cookies. So all he needs to do is just come down to Dallas. Uh, she got it. So
All I'm saying, hey, tell your wife, my BFF, that between you and Tyreek and her, them cookies are gonna be gone because Matt Ryan is staying in Atlanta.
yeah, hold on. I'm gonna need you to repeat that. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. All right, go ahead.
Matt Ryan is gonna stay in Atlanta, so you and my BFF, you and Tyreek need to eat them cookies because Matt Ryan is staying in ATL. He's staying in ATL. He's gonna retire a Falcon. I'm telling you.
I had to put that on the speaker so she can hear you. Or yeah,
So,
okay.
but with that being said, but I will say this though. I will say this. As much as we applaud the Chiefs and rightfully so with Patrick Mahomes and their team, we gotta give a shout out to the Raiders. We gotta give a shout out to the Raiders because I picked the Raiders to be that team that's gonna be fringe lurking through the AFC playoff picture. Derek Carr is playing, even though he threw that interception to lose the game, he's playing sensational. Especially
He is.
with the trade rumors going on and the fact that they brought in Mariota and John Gruden and him was having beef and they was like Derek Carr's going on his way out of Vegas. The way he's playing right now, the way that he's playing right now, you gotta put some respect on his name. He's doing good. He's doing good, and consider the fact that he lost his best. He bought it. He thought it. He bought his. He lost his best target when he went to Dallas. They traded Amari Cooper to Dallas, but then you bring Ruggs back. You draft Ruggs, who I think is gonna eventually have a breakout game, and then you got Jeff Waller, who I think is probably behind Kittle and who's the other receiver? It's Kittle and who's the other tight end? I don't know who the other tight end is. Oh,
Kelsey.
Kelsey. And then he's number 3 as one of the best tight ends in the league. You got him. You got Darren Waller, who I think is a pretty damn good tight end. And then
The
you
he
got Josh Jacobs. Go ahead, Boom.
the Waller is a standout. I mean, he's had some issues where he couldn't play, but putting all that aside and
Mm-hmm.
just going off his play, he's top three.
Oh, definitely. I
Yeah,
got him behind Kittle. I got him behind Kittle and Kelsey.
he's top three because there's no other tight end that compares to him beneath him. I mean, the closest one to him is Mark Andrews, but Mark
Yeah,
Andrews only does well when Lamar Jackson runs well. So
exactly. And the crazy thing about it is with Waller, you can line him up as a tight end, you can line him up as a receiver, you can line him up in the backfield, he can block. And if you haven't watched Darren Waller's story on how he overcame everything to be the player that he is today, I advise you to watch it. Go check it out on YouTube. The interview he did with Steve Smith, watch it because that man overcame a lot to be where he is today.
mm, yes, he did.
Please watch it. Please watch it. So, and then we gotta give a shout out to Josh Jacobs, who a lot of people said that he was crazy to leave Alabama early to go to the draft. He's probably
He
one of
had
the best.
it was. I think he
He's
did it out of
probably
necessity.
he did too. Yeah, because I don't think because we all know how Alabama recruits running backs. They got like 6 5 stars. So he did what was best for him, and it worked out because he's one of the best young running backs in the league. He's one of the best young running backs in the league, and that man is tough to bring down. Trust me.
Yes, he is.
I watched him in the SEC championship game against Georgia, and it was very difficult for one person to bring that man down. You got to have at least 4 or 5 to bring that man down. He's tough. He runs hard. He runs angry. He runs violent. He runs. That's what you need in a running back. You need somebody who can run tough. I see a lot of people talk about the 50-yard runs, the 40-yard fancy runs, and juking there. Give me a running back that can give me 3 or 4 tough yards when I need them. And that's Josh Jacobs. He gives you the tough yards. That man will run through you. Like you see a lot of running backs go out of bounds and don't want that man will run through you. If it's 2nd and 8 and he needs 2 yards to get that 8, and there's a defensive player sitting there, he's gonna run through him. That man is tough. He is tough. I got him on my fantasy team. That man, he could ball. He could ball. So as much as I want to applaud the Chiefs, you gotta give a shout out to the Raiders. I think they'll be. I think they'll make the playoffs. I really think they will. I really think they'll make the playoffs because they're the only team in the league that gave the Chiefs problems. The Chiefs been blowing everybody out, beating everybody down. Okay, well, there was one. San Diego. San Diego gave them a tough game. But the only team that beat them and gave them a hard time was the Raiders. So look out for the Raiders. They might they might kick the Ravens out and get that spot. That's where I'm going with that. I think the Raiders will beat out the Ravens for that. Especially the fact that the Ravens got to play Pittsburgh on Thursday night. All the Raiders got to do is keep winning games, and they have a very favorable schedule against sub 500 teams. They still got to play the Chargers. They still got to play the Broncos. So that's 4 easy games right there. So the Raiders might mess around and knock Baltimore out of that playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I do want to. I should have mentioned it when we talked about the Monday Night Football game. History was made Monday Night Football. I'm sorry that that's completely slipped my mind, but to mention it now, history was made, and I'm glad that I was able to see it with my own eyes, and something that I said to my wife when I saw it happen, about damn time.
Yeah.
If For those that don't know what I'm talking about, y'all must be living under a rock. It
Or they
was
don't care. Or
first,
they don't care. Or they don't care.
or or they don't care.
They don't care.
Uh, the Monday Night Football was the first time ever in the history of NFL was there a all black ref crew working that game. That
That's all I got to say.
um, it was long overdue. It is way long overdue. These guys have come a long way. They made history. They called a great game.
Absolutely. Yes, they
Um,
did. Yes, they did.
so I mean, besides that, I mean, having the first all black crew working the game, that was amazing to watch. So
It's,
that
it really is.
yeah, yeah, Samuel, yes, don't care what no
Definitely
one
huge.
said. That
Definitely
was
huge.
huge. So
Definitely huge.
congrats to those guys.
Yeah.
Their names will never be taken away from the history books. Because this is
That.
a world, and I hope this will put forward like what the ref was saying. If you watched the interview before the game,
Mm-hmm.
where he said that he was watching the game and said, "Hey, I could be that guy refing the game," and that's where he was there. So
Yeah.
hopefully, these young kids they looked at this all black crew, saying, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I could be one of them one of these days," and I hope so. This was a tremendous moment. It was
Definitely.
great.
Definitely. Definitely.
So yeah, Samuel,
And
again, I agree with you. It's huge.
And definitely considering the fact that what's going on in this country with the election and the division amongst the country as far as whose side are you on. That was a beacon of light for me. That was a beacon of light for my son. It was a beacon of light for your son as well. That it was good. And how long the NFL's been around? What, 100 years? A
Shit,
little over
a
100 years, and that's the first
long
time that
time.
happened. A
Yeah,
long time. So, and
I mean, this should have been done in the damn '90s.
it should have been done a long time ago. It should have been, but out of sight, out of mind for the NFL. And I always say that the NBA has ran circles around the MLB and the NFL as far as social justice. I've said that many a times because the NBA has always been proactive with social justice as far as things going on in our country, in our community, as far as minorities is concerned. The NBA has always been 10 steps ahead, 20 steps ahead of all major sports. So to see that
Hey,
happen,
mhm. Hey, Dre, give me 1 second. There's something going on. You see that?
I I already told you that Matt Ryan is staying in Atlanta.
Hold on,
Okay, he's
hold
staying
on,
in
hold on.
Atlanta.
Go ahead.
but it had to happen. It really had to happen. Now the question is, will it keep happening? That's my thing. Will it keep happening? Because and then you always got haters out there. They always talking about, oh well, it shouldn't be a black thing, it shouldn't be a white thing, but y'all made it that
But
way.
but
Y'all
but
made it
yeah,
that way. The people that I'm talking about, y'all made it that way. It was never a black and white thing until y'all made it that way. Y'all made it that way with Kaepernick when y'all said that, oh, he's kneeling and disrespecting the veterans and he's disrespecting the country. No, he wasn't.
it
If you
was a
knew the
veteran that
message,
told
you
him
knew
to
what it
do
was.
so.
Right. And that's why I said it. The people out there that's saying this stuff, you need to kind of open your eyes a little bit on what's going on. I think the only reason why a lot of people are ignoring the fact because guess what? It doesn't affect them. It affects people
Yeah,
like you and me,
and
yes, definitely, but it doesn't affect them, so they don't care. They don't care. So when stuff like this happens, when the rep is an all black crew, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do the same. Hopefully, they do it in the MLB and the NBA. They're gonna follow suit. You're gonna have those people and say, "Well, why they're
I
doing that?
think
It shouldn't
NBA
be like this."
they have had all black crew working
I
games.
have I haven't seen it. Maybe you probably seen it. I haven't seen it.
I,
I know
I,
they brought.
I'm
I know they brought female referees and they got
yep.
female coaches. I haven't seen that. Now, if you've seen it and you could correct me on it, that's cool. I haven't seen it. I
That
haven't only seen
that
it last a couple nights ago in the
Now
NFL.
I'll
Yeah.
say I think they have, but I could be wrong. But I think I have seen a game where it was all black crew working the games, but I could be
Okay.
wrong. Could have been college. I don't
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I don't
but
know. Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
remember seeing an all black crew. And one thing I
Okay.
do want to say, and the people that that say, hey, it was but he did Colin Kaepernick, disrespected the flag, this and that, or people trying to find when they're trying to protest, they said they should find their own platform to protest. Well, if these are NFL players, this is their platform to protest. They're not going to
Facts.
call
That's
a
what I'm
fu-
saying, man. That's
they're,
what I'm
they're
saying.
not going to call a press conference
Yeah.
and protest there. No, they're an NFL player, so they're going to protest at their platform, which is the NFL
Boom.
game.
Boom.
So,
Boom. You're being too smart here. You're speaking too much truth.
oh,
You're
I'm
being
sorry, I'm
smart here.
sorry, I'm
You're being
sorry,
smart here.
I'm sorry,
You're being too smart here. That's not how you're supposed to do things. That's
I'm
not how you're supposed to
sorry.
do things.
I'll
But
take that back.
I totally feel you. I totally feel you. Like people say, "Oh, don't do it on your own time." But you got social media. You got social media out there, and a lot of these
Yeah,
athletes that I follow them on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook. A lot of these athletes use their social media to to promote social justice. And my dad said it to me, and I take this to heart when he said this. He's like, it's not the fact that how we're protesting, it's the fact that we're doing it.
it
That
is.
that's the problem. It's the fact that we're doing it. If we just shut up and do what we do and just go home, go to work, play football, play sports, or as what's the witch's name, Lord, just shut up and dribble, we wouldn't have this problem. We just fall in line like we did back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s, where we just fall in line and not say anything. It'll be cool.
Yeah,
But
and you see
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's
it blows my
super
mind. Like,
crazy.
how can
It
you
really does.
how,
Like it really does.
how can you root against something like this, or how can you root against social justice, no matter what it is, right?
Yeah.
There's a picture in my barber's on my barber's wall. I need to take a picture for it, and and I'll post it on Instagram. And it's a quote by Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
It said, "I'm for justice. Doesn't matter for who or who is against. It's justice is justice. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, right is wrong, wrong is wrong. Right? No matter how you look at it,
Facts.
right is right, wrong is wrong. So if you
Facts.
think that having an all black crew is wrong, you are wrong in so many ways.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Where do you find the wrong in that? Like where? Like where? Like I don't get it. I really don't. But then again, I do get it because ignorance spawns ignorance. So I understand that. So I mean, it really is sad how people are so negative towards that. Like they was like, oh, why you making it a black and a white thing? Because y'all did it. And y'all know who y'all I'm talking about. Y'all did it. Y'all did it.
Yeah,
So come on
it's
now. Come on now.
we, especially in these times. I mean, it should be like this all the time,
Exactly.
right? It should be like this all the time, but especially in the times like of late, we
Mm-hmm.
need to stick together. I don't care if you're
Mm-hmm.
white, black, brown, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to stick together. We all need to be mindful of others, and we have to be helpful. Because if we're just gonna be putting up walls, this is going to continue on for centuries,
Yep.
centuries.
Yep.
I mean, not and please don't think I'm trying to put myself in your shoes or anyone or any other African
Hey
American.
man, the floor. Hey man, the floor is yours,
I'm
man.
I I am a Pakistani American. Okay, I have maybe not to an extent to the extent of what you or your ancestors have gone through, but I have gone through, or my people have gone through a lot of it too. Because
I
when
believe it.
9/11 happened, guess who the first ones that looked at?
Woo, boy, that man. Look, let me tell you something.
My name was
Y'all.
random back check whenever I traveled. My name was random back check when I
Oh
traveled.
yeah,
So
it was
when
bad for
all of
y'all.
this, so I understand what you go through or
Oh
what
yeah.
is happening. I understand. But I am not the type to push people away. When people say, "Well, it shouldn't be like this," I ask them, "Why not? Give me your reason for why it shouldn't be like that." Because
Mm-hmm.
if you can't give me an honest answer, where it's not a quote, where it's not read off from a book or
Or a
text or
meme, or
anything
a meme,
or a meme,
something stupid. Yeah,
you
stupid.
can't. If you can't give me a straight answer, you cannot say that cannot happen or that shouldn't happen or it should not be
Mm-hmm.
like this, because you know
Exactly.
damn well as a human being, we all have to help each other because we're all
Mm-hmm.
humans. But just because I'm a different color from you, I shouldn't be working or get
Mm-hmm.
paid, or I shouldn't be
Or
able to
should
feed my
even, you know
family.
what? Or shouldn't even exist, or shouldn't even be here. Shouldn't even
But
be in
guess
this
what?
country.
We're all here. We're all different colors. We're all, and
And guess
shit.
what? And guess what?
It needs to stop, and someone needs to open the eyes and see. Oh my God, what the hell are we doing?
And
Because
guess
and
what?
when that happens, this whole world will be such a beautiful place.
Exactly. And guess what?
But
We're different colors, but
it
guess what? I still pay my taxes like you. I still
exactly,
got to follow the laws like you. I still got to follow
exactly.
everything. So the only thing that's different between me and somebody else is my skin color, because I still got to follow the laws and pay my
But
taxes just like you do.
right, but right now, when you see, I'm glad you brought that up because
Mm-hmm.
because they're a certain color, they're able to do certain things that we can't, like walk down the street with an AK, shoot two people, and walk and go home breathing. But
Or get out,
but
or not this one, or get out on bond. After you kill somebody, you can get out on bond.
yeah, and then
I got dudes that are locked up. They ain't got no bond. They were just smoking weed.
but let me walk down the street when there's a bombing that just happened, and I'm in Guantanamo Bay
Hell, I mean,
in
look at me.
in
Look
two
at me. I could
hours.
look at me. I could just have a broken tail light. My life can end that day because the cop had a bad
Yep.
day. So,
But
but we
yeah,
didn't want to, but we didn't want to go off that tangent. But we had to. But you
yes,
understand where me and Boom are coming from because we're minorities in this world. So you got to understand where we're coming from when we see an all black officiating crew on a Monday night game. That's big for a lot of us. For me
yes,
personally, because I have a son. Boom and my BFF. They have a son. They're gonna have to grow up in this world where a lot of people are gonna look at them because their skin color. So when I see my son text me and say, "Hey, Dad, I saw the game and that was really dope," I'm pretty sure you and Ladonna are gonna say the same thing to Tyreek when he gets older. Y'all probably gonna show him the same thing.
yep,
Sam has a daughter. Sam's out there. A lot of these people on my chat line, they have children that are not, they look like us. That was big for all of us. So To everybody out there that's saying it should be a black or white thing, don't tell me that. Don't tell Boom and LaDonna that. Don't tell Sam that. Don't tell Maggie that. Don't tell all of them that. Because we have kids that don't look like y'all. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna tell my son, like, hey, you had a president, you had a black president. Now you got an all black officiating crew. You got a black female vice president.
Mm-hmm.
You can do pretty much whatever you want to be. Don't let nobody try to hold you back because you see these people in positions of power doing things for us, doing things that they told us we couldn't do, and they're doing it. So
Yep.
take that into consideration. I got that picture saved in my phone. So whenever somebody tries to throw out a comment that I deem is not worthy, I'm gonna put that picture up because that was huge. That was huge. So, but
Yep.
I'm done with that. I'm done with
Yep.
that. So I mean,
We
boom.
need
If you
to
want to say
switch.
anything else, now that we could go,
No.
we go somewhere because I
No.
went off a whole tangent
Yeah.
and you did, so we can keep going on to
Let's
the
go.
next
Let's
one.
go to something
Let's
that
keep
we're
going.
both.
Let's
Let's
keep
move
going
on to
somewhere else.
something we're both excited about. Something we're both excited about. Do you know what that
Absolutely.
is?
What's that?
It's this right here.
Man, look, let me tell you something. I'm going to pray for Roy Jones because even though I will say this, the commissioner said that there will not be any knockdowns. There will not be any hard punches. There will not be a full-fledged fight.
I don't think Tyson.
But Mike Tyson doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-mm.
Mike Tyson only knows one speed, and that's full
Hard.
throttle,
Go.
100%. Let's get it. I'm gonna kill you in the ring. So
Isn't that why he
all I'm
came
gonna
back?
say, what you know, I mean,
Isn't but isn't that why he came back? Isn't that why he said the beast that he used to be made him cry? Like he was crying in that interview.
yeah. He said
Isn't that why he
basically,
came back? Isn't that why he's doing all this training as well
well,
to
you
come
know,
back in the ring? He's
well,
not
you
gonna.
know,
He's not going. He's not gonna go
he's not gonna
soft.
go.
He ain't.
Well,
No.
Tyson said something that kind of stuck with me. He said that the Warriors have woke him up. He's woken when Tyson says something like, and I'm a, you know, boom. I know you're a big Tyson fan. Your wife is a big Tyson fan. Sam, me, I'm a big,
You
huge
see this
Tyson
comment?
fan.
You see that comment,
Yeah, it really is. He was preparing for a title fight. Like, I mean, have y'all seen the videos? Have y'all seen the videos of
bro?
Tyson? Tyson is training like it's 1991, and he's fighting Michael Spinks. Okay, he's fighting Michael Spinks. So all I'm gonna say is this: when if Roy Jones hits Tyson, I want to see how Tyson reacts because I don't think Tyson's gonna react like it's an exhibition. I think Tyson's gonna go back to the days where he was the baddest man on the planet, where he was ruthless amongst the heavyweight division. Yes, LaDonna. If somebody gets cut too bad, they calling it. But I'm gonna tell you like this, and I want somebody to be honest here. I want somebody to be honest here. If Roy somehow hits Tyson and somebody gets cut in the battle between Tyson and Jones, somebody gets hit and there's a cut. As a referee, are you gonna get between that? Because me personally, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna just sit this one out and let y'all get tired, and then I'll break it up. Because Tyson, I think Tyson came in. I think his weight right now, he's like 225, 226.
Almost.
And yes, you saw his pictures. Roy Jones. I saw his last video, and he looks like he's in tip top shape. But that doesn't matter until they get in the ring. Boom, I'm gonna ask you an honest question. As a referee, are you gonna get between that? If somebody starts
But
brawling and somebody starts bleeding, are you gonna get in the middle of that?
the hell? Okay. If Mike Tyson's the one throwing the punches and Jones gets cut,
I'm just talking about in general, like amongst the yeah.
no. Either one of them throwing punches and the other one gets cut. I'm not jumping in between that. Hell, I might be behind them trying to pull them back like this.
Hey, look,
But
real talk.
I am not getting in between That
Real
no,
talk,
hell
real
no.
talk,
I
real
might get
talk,
knocked out.
real talk. I'll probably sit there with my popcorn like this, just eating it, cause I ain't even going. Man, look, let me tell you something.
This is
You cannot,
the
you cannot play.
this is one fight I'll be watching.
Oh,
Like
definitely. You can't.
this is
You can't play boxing. You can play
mm-mm.
football. You can play basketball. You can play. You cannot play boxing. I don't care if it's an exhibition or not. You cannot play boxing. Terrence Crawford said it last week. It's been said many, many a times. The great Roger Mayweather said it. The late great Roger Mayweather said it. You cannot play boxing. Exactly. Everybody, you might have to call the SWAT team in there. Seriously, you might have to call the SWAT team in there because
Hunter, I think you're right. The ref is going to need a whistle.
it's going
Yeah,
he gonna
I
need
think
he
that
gonna need the SWAT team, the military, whoever, because Mike Tyson is a fighter. Roy Jones is a fighter. You cannot play boxing. I don't care if it's an exhibition or not. I don't care. You can throw all the rules out there and say, "Oh, it's not." Let them do. Let them competitive juices start flowing, and they start having flashbacks. It's gonna be a whole different mindset. It's kind of like the
I,
All Star game in the fourth quarter, where the first 3 quarters of the All Star game, everybody just showing off, doing it for the crowd. But come that fourth quarter in the NBA All Star game, oh, they playing hard. They playing hard and they trying to win the game. It's going to be the same way with this fight. I don't know who's going to land the first punch. All I
Tyson.
know is when that first punch is All I know is when that first punch is landed. That's it. And
So
then I think LaDonna said they don't have to wear headgear either. Come on, seriously, seriously. You really think that these guys are going to play boxing if somebody gets hit? Come on now, come on, man. Let's be
I
real here.
think I think we're about to see the early '90s Tyson in this fight,
About
that was
early
and
ni-
that
early
was
'90s, early '90s. How about '85 to '88 when Tyson was at his peak? '85 to '88 when he
mm,
was just killing
mm,
folks. He was just killing
mm,
folks.
mm.
I'm
Hey, this is what, bro? It,
gonna send a
but
prayer up. I'm gonna send a prayer. I'm not gonna send a prayer up for Roy Jones. I'm gonna send a prayer up for the ref because whoever has to referee that fight, I'm gonna send a prayer up for you because I don't want you to die. I do not want you to die at all. I want you to love your life, but ain't no way you gonna ain't no way you gonna stop that fight. Especially if they start to get the throwing for real. Nah,
or
not at all.
or let Mike Tyson get back in the mindset. It's like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm back. Like,
That interview, that
uh,
interview,
the, oh,
that
bro.
interview that LaDonna showed in the group. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. That man said he don't want to
yeah,
go back to that place, but he's gonna go back there. Especially if Roy Jones hit him clean, he's gonna go back to that place.
yeah,
He is.
that's what I'm saying. If that happens, we're gonna see a bloodbath, and good luck to the ref to even trying to stop that.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
It,
I
it,
mean,
bro, dude, I can't imagine. Like, I'm right now at this point,
yeah.
seeing Mike Tyson with his videos coming out, with him working out, him training, and looking in like phenomenal shape right now.
For a 54-year-old, hell
We
yeah.
yeah, right now I'm just trying to gather what is going on in Jones's head. Seeing this,
Roy Jones even said to himself that he is afraid of going into this fight. That lets you know right there. Even Roy Jones said himself, he said, not because he's scared, it's because he knows him and Mike Tyson has that warrior mentality. Because think about it, Tyson and Jones are probably two of the all-time top 10 pound for pound greatest fighters out there. So they go back to that warriors mentality. It's going to be crazy. And yes, Evander has called out Mike Tyson again. And for some strange reason, I want to see that. I want to see that because I want to see Tyson. But see, I don't think that fight's going to be an exhibition. I think that's going to be an actual real fight because I think Tyson wants to exercise the demons of Holyfield beating him and the fact that he bit off Holyfield's ear. I think that's not going to be an exhibition. I think that's going to be an actually real. Yeah, it's going to be a real fight between them two. It ain't going to be
You
no
think that
exhibition between Holy.
you you think that's gonna be a 3 round 12 3 minute
Oh no,
12 round?
that's going to be a yeah. It's going to be a full fledged. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how tired they get. I don't even care if the fight is terrible. It's just the history between Tyson and Holyfield. Tyson, he came out of prison. He was on his way back. He won 2 belts. And then Holyfield comes out of nowhere and beats him. Not just like by decision. I mean, he whooped Tyson's ass. Like, he whooped his ass. Like, I was sitting there heartbroken because, I'm a Tyson fan. But I like Holyfield too because he's from Georgia. The way that Holyfield beat Tyson methodically over that fight, and then the whole the incident in '97 when Tyson bit his ear. Tyson gonna want that whole smoke. He ain't gonna want no exhibition. He gonna want that whole smoke. So I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised at all. I won't be surprised at all if Tyson says, "I want the whole smoke. I want the full boxing commission to agree to this fight. I want the 3 minute 12 round smoke from Evander because he wants to right the wrong." Now, if they have an exhibition, cool. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to want the smoke because they're all buddy now. But like I said, that Warriors mentality, 96, 97. Not, I don't think it was 96. I think it was 95. 90. Either way it goes, Holyfield's up 2-0 on Tyson right now. Tyson going to want to get that dub back. He going to want to get that dub back. So Tyson going to want the smoke. And honestly, as a boxing fan, I know a lot of people going to be like, oh, I don't want to see 2 old men fight. Guess what? Guess who's going to be watching that shit? Me. If it's going to be me by myself, I'm going to watch it. Hell yeah, I'm going to watch it. Because
Yeah.
Holyfield and Tyson were two of my favorite heavyweights growing up. Holyfield, the way he came, he overcame the heart defect, came back, became a great champion. Tyson went to jail, came back, became a great champion. Both of these guys were in their prime. Holyfield got the better of Tyson in the first fight, and then the second fight was what it was. Tyson gonna want the smoke. He gonna want the smoke. So,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you think? What do you think, Boo? You think you gonna watch if Holyfield and Tyson agree to fight? What do you think? Are you gonna sit and
Dude,
watch the fight?
I'm there for Tyson. I mean
Yeah,
that's without question. So
yeah.
like you said, when I, when I started watching Tyson, I
Mm-hmm.
was young. All
Mm-hmm.
right, and I only
Oh
wa-
yeah, yeah.
and the only way I watched it is because of my dad, because my dad
Mm-hmm.
loved
Oh yeah.
boxing, and we had and
My
we
dad
had
was a
just
huge Tyson fan.
and we had just came over to America too. So right there
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like the almost the downfall or the slowly coming
He was
down of
starting to come
Tyson.
down. Yeah, he was starting to come down. Yeah.
But even then, if it was Tyson that's fighting, my dad was watching, and
Facts. Yeah.
and because my dad was watching, I'm watching with him. So
Mm-hmm.
I was that's that's who I remember. And then of course as I got older, I went back and looked at Muhammad Ali's tapes too, and I was like, holy
Mm-hmm.
crap, he was the one that did it before Mike Tyson. So it was
Yeah.
so it was my Muhammad Ali and then Mike Tyson, and then after that
Mm-hmm.
I just went away from boxing. So
Mm-hmm.
if Mike Tyson is going to box, that's my childhood favorite boxer. So if he's
Yeah.
going to fight,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna watch. It may be a terrible fight just because of the age, or it could be a great fight and bringing back old memories. So I'm
It's
going to
just the
watch
fact
it
that it's
either way.
Tyson. Yeah.
So either way, I'm going to watch it. If it's Tyson that's fighting, I'm watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is how Tyson's been out of boxing for years, and the fact of the matter is he came back on an exhibition fight and he's getting all this attention. That lets you know how much of a draw Tyson is because even my mom, who doesn't really watch sports except for 49ers, she even was like, she's gonna watch the fight this weekend. She really is. And Sam, yes, that's in there with Super Bowl 51 and the Georgia National Championship. I don't talk about February 11th, 1990. I don't. Because every time I talk, I get emotional. Because as a 10-year-old, when I saw that fight, I cried. I cried for a good 30, 45 minutes because Tyson was kind of like Jordan to me. I felt that
Mm-hmm.
Jordan and Tyson were invincible. Nobody can beat them. So when I saw Michael Jordan miss a jump shot, yeah, I cried because I figured Michael Jordan could make all his shots. That man was invincible. So when Michael Jordan missed his first jump shot, I cried because I don't expect Michael Jordan to miss. Same way with Tyson. When Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, I was inconsolable. Even my dad had to tell me, it was okay. He had to console me because Tyson was, to me, was invincible. That man couldn't be beat, especially after he killed Michael Spinks, and he was the undisputed champ, and nobody could beat him. Come on, man. I mean, when he lost that night, man. I mean, I didn't even want to go to school the next day because I was hurting. I was hurting that night because I didn't expect Tyson to lose, but he lost. So it is what it is. But I'm definitely tuning in Sunday. I mean Saturday because I'm like boom. I'm a Tyson fan as well, and I hope that him and Holyfield get in there one more time.
All right. I don't know if there's anything else that we can talk about. I know the other show is going on right now. Uh,
I don't have
but
anything else to say. We good. We good. We pretty much, like I said, we made it a hour and an hour and 30 minutes, man. So we stretched it.
yeah, and
So
it was a good stretch because of the history that was made Monday night. So we had to talk about that. Of course, we went
absolutely,
out onto a tangent, but it was something that needs to be
it
said.
had to be talked about.
With
Yeah,
it had to be
it had to be talked about.
it had to be put out there for people that don't understand our point of view, our
Fact,
side.
fact, big
So
fact.
it was it was a good stretch. But so going with that, we're gonna go with parting shot. I'm gonna go first with the parting shot.
Go ahead.
Um, I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. If you have a issue with the history that was made on Monday Night Football, if you have a problem with that, fuck you. Simple as that. I mean, we can't progress as human beings with you still having issues with what happened Monday night.
Mm.
I'm sorry. It you're just a piece of shit if you have an issue with what happened Monday night. So yeah, that's all I have to. I just want to cap that off.
That's all you gotta say. That's it. Say
Yep.
no more. That's it. Mine's gonna be pretty short and simple too. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say a little bit. The only thing I gotta say is that the holidays are coming up this week. A lot of people are preparing themselves for this holiday. The only few things I have to say. Number one, we already know that Corona's showing its ass again, and
Yep.
people are the levels are very high. So I will say this, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate on one side of the coin. If you don't need to go to see your family, don't go. Don't go see them. Zoom works. FaceTime works. Uh, especially with a lot of these states are starting to shut down or starting to lock down their state, and you have to get quarantined or
Facebook Messenger works.
Facebook Messenger. You have to quarantine, or you can't even come at some like I think New York. You can't even come in to their state at all. So, um, you know, but I will say this: if you are going to see your family, be careful. Be careful. Wear your mask. Get some hand sanitizer. Don't try to, you know, don't have a whole lot of people over there. I mean, me personally, I don't really care for it. But at the same time, be careful out there because this is real. I had a close friend of mine. She just went through Corona. She's good again, but the after effects of Corona is serious. It's real serious. So just be mindful of what you decide to do this Thanksgiving holiday. Uh, if you want to go see family, that's cool, but just be careful. Just be careful. That's all I have to say about that. Um, second of all, um, there are a lot of people out here that don't have family, don't have, they're not going anywhere for Thanksgiving. They're gonna pretty much be alone. Me personally, I'll be at work, so I'm good on that. They're gonna serve us Thanksgiving dinner at my job. But if you know somebody that's gonna be spending Thanksgiving alone by themselves, give them a call, check on them, FaceTime them, cause suicide and depression is real. I had a close friend of mine that passed away from depression. Uh, shout out to J Mo, that's my dog. He passed away. Just check on your people. Even the ones that said they don't need nobody checking on them, check on them anyway. Check on them anyway, cause you never know. You never know if you can brighten up their day. How bright you can make their day, or you can make their day. So check on them. Especially I was in the military, and a lot of these guys and these girls are deploying. They're on duty. They're away from their families. Check on them, especially if you got military friends or family members. Just check on them, cause you never know. You never know. You might be that beacon of light for them, especially if they're deployed or they're away from their families for whatever reason. So check on them. And three, um, enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you got days off, spend time with your family as much as possible, because tomorrow's not promised. I'm not saying be buddy buddy with your family members, with your family members or your friends. Just spend time with them as much as they can. If just eat some food with them, talk with them, just fellowship with them. Just for one day, just kind of kill the beef for one day. I'm not saying for a whole month or whatever, be cool with them, or just kill the beef for one day. Just be kind of cordial for one day. Just be friendly for one day, because tomorrow's not promised. You can lay
Yep.
down tonight, and that'd be your last time laying down. So that's my partner shot. So to everybody out there that's been listening to us and been hanging with us, enjoy your Thanksgiving week. For everybody that's off, kiss my ass because I got to work, but enjoy your Thanksgiving off.
Hey, you get the holiday pay.
Yeah, I get the holiday pay. Yeah,
So
I do. But
hey, maybe you
enjoy
can
your
find out
holiday.
buying a new phone.
That'll be next year when I get my bonus next year. See,
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
Hey man, I gotta let it last. So, but yeah, same to you, Sam, man. I know you say you working too, man. So make sure you holler at Michaela, man. I know she'll be looking forward to your call on Thanksgiving, man. So holler at her for me. Tell her I say hello, and tell her thank her. Her advice has won me a couple of dollars this week. So tell her I said thank you. I might send her a dollar or two for that. But
$1 or
real
two.
talk, man. Enjoy y'all Thanksgiving, man. Enjoy time with your family, whether it's by Zoom or by them coming over to celebrate with you guys. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the time, because like I said, you never know when it's your time to go. Trust me, because like I said, who Bobby Brown's son just passed away, so you never know when it's your time to go. So just enjoy the time that you're here, and just spend time with the people that you love. And that's my part shot. That's all I got to say. So I'm good with that. So
All right. But on that note, um, I know he already said it, but I'll say it again. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy your time and be safe.
be
That's
safe.
all you
Yes,
can do right
please
now.
be
Just be
safe.
safe.
Get your mask. Get your mask. Your sanitizer. If you're sick, stay home. Don't go out
Please.
if you're sick. Please stay home. Do not go out if you're sick. Stay home. Stay home,
Yeah.
because even if you don't feel like you're sick, you can still pass it on to somebody who could get sick real fast. Please be respectful and stay home. I don't want you to
Yep.
show up to people's houses and you not feeling good, because that's real disrespectful.
Yep.
That's real disrespectful. So please
So
be safe out there. Like Boone said, be safe out there. And on that note,
yeah.
man, we're good. We'll see you guys next week, man.
See y'all later.
All right.